What is up, guys? MattWic here. We are back in NHL 25 with our Quebec Draft Kings here in 2031, and we are ready to get back on the horse after that disappointing Stanley Cup Finals loss to the Colorado Avalanche yet again. What's that? Four in a row, four cups we've lost now in this series so far. So hopefully this will be the year. Still rocking a lot of the same guys, but let's take a look at the lines and see what we're rolling with this season. All right, so the top half of the lineup is still pretty much the same. We have the dream team first line of Kalle Paulsen, Ricky Combs, and Jakub Koltsov. So hopefully they can continue their dominance. Kalle Paulsen has been a beast so far this series. Look at the awards that he has won so far. Hopefully we can add a Stanley Cup to that list, but he might be the new age Connor McDavid, really. Still waiting for that first cup. Ricky Combs, has he won any awards? He has not. Koltsov, I think, did he win anything? He is not either, but I believe Tikhonov last year did win the Rookie of the Year, so that's good to see. Our very first Calder winner in the series there, so hopefully he can continue his success here. We have Jackson Jacobson, who's somebody who's going to be probably in and out of the lineup. We'll see how he performs. We do have one interesting development to update on, and our fourth line leaves a little bit to be desired with Torsten Obergauer down there. He was a pickup that we got in the free agency. So hopefully he can do something here for us. We're giving him a chance. We do have some guys in the AHL who could also fill that spot, just because that defensive leaves a little bit to be desired there. Those overalls are a little bit low, but we'll give him the shot, see if he can develop there. Our defense is obviously the biggest part of this franchise, though, so far, with Bachfist and Harley, who came over in that expansion draft. And then we have built very nicely around them with some defensive studs. A little bit too many defensive studs now. Skylar Reed, we're putting him in there to start the year. 19 years of age, 79 overall. He had a couple good seasons playing down in the queue, so hopefully he can continue that. He already has a superstar ability, so that's why he is in the lineup right now over a couple other guys. Albert Henry, who had a great year last year, and same with Caden McCarron, who kind of came out of nowhere. Our biggest question mark this season, though, is going to be goaltending. Carter George, 86 overall, and Jadon Faith, 85 overall. We did do the goalie focus for the training, so these guys got a nice bump. I believe they're both 84 overall, so Carter George now up to an 86. Hopefully he can be our goalie of the future. He is a elite goalie, second round pick, and Jaden Faith as well, I believe, is an elite goalie. His role is an elite goalie. That's something too. I know we had a comment in the last video, which was a little while ago, asking me to go around the league and just do kind of an overview. So I did go through the league and check to see where all the rosters were at right now. Forward groups for every team looked pretty good. Obviously, you had a couple bad teams in there, but for the most part, that looked pretty solid. A lot of development from those guys. The defense, besides maybe like 2 or 3 teams that had like all 78s on their defense, looked pretty good as well. So it's nice to see that has kind of been ironed out a little bit. Now, I do have this franchise mode on high for both the draft and the prospect quality, so maybe that could be a little bit into it as well. One thing I did notice, and I just confirmed it there with our goalies, the goaltenders did look a little bad. So that is something that was a big problem in NHL 24, was that going deep into Sims, you started to see a lot of goaltenders not developing. Now, there have been a lot of guys coming out as elite in the drafts, but it is one of those things where a lot of them look like they're not developing, so that's a little bit worrisome that we have an 86 and an 85, and they're both considered elite goalies now in the league. That's normally reserved to the 90s. But one big thing in our roster right now, so if you did see, I do have a stacked decor right now. So we have Harold Galvin, who's played a lot for us and has played very well. Big plus-minus guy. Not really a big points guy, but it's nice to have him there just in case we need him. And then Don Reitz, who was a top pick of ours. We do actually, since we don't have a spot for him right now, and I want to try Skylar Reed in there just because he has that superstar ability. As you look across his stats, very solid across the board. He looks like a great player. I do have him trying to shift his natural position to left wing, because you saw Jacobson there, 77 overall. Like I said, leaves a little bit to be desired. So I want to see Don Reitz, can you switch up to that left wing position? I think we have one more month to go to see if he's going to be able to do it. I think he'd be a solid left wing guy. So we shall see if he's able to do that. That is one big question mark right now in the season. In terms of the AHL, we have a lot of guys who are on the fringe right now. Like I said, Lakovic could come up at some point and take over that second line role. His awarenesses and defense don't look much better, though, so I gave Obergar the start up there. We do have his brother down here in the AHL, so maybe they can play together at some point. But we have a lot of forwards right now, especially our centers, who we're trying to get to play a double position. That's one thing I noticed in a lot of teams, was that they have a lot of centers, but those centers can all play left wing, right wing, or a lot of them can. So that's a trend, I guess, some teams are moving towards. And then, like I said, our defensive unit right now is absolutely stacked. We have 3 guys down here who are almost ready to make the jump. Quentin Bruce, Rick Rabbit, and Marcus Volchenkov, and then Rocky Strong down here, who I'd love to see make the NHL because he is a beast of a man, and he is a defensive defenseman there. So 5th round pick, great name. We'd love to see him get up there. Same thing with Rick Rabbit, former 1st round pick offensive defenseman. So he's out there running around like a rabbit. And then Quentin Bruce. So it might be something at some point we do look at maybe moving on from somebody just to pick up some more picks, because we are starting to get a little thin in terms of our forward group. Would like to see some development out of some of these guys, but we are loaded up for right now. Still tons of cap space as well, because we have Paulson, Combs, and Koltsov locked up to cheap deals. Same thing with Harley on the defense. Bachfist, I believe this is going to be his last season, maybe. Yeah, he has 1 more year left. We'll see if we can re-sign him. If not, it is what it is. Like I said, we do have a loaded defense right now, but Bachfist has played great for us over the years. You see 90 points last year, so we'll see what we want to do with him. But guys, let's get into some simulation. Let's get a couple months in, see what this team's looking like. Please, God, let this be the year we win the cup. Let's go, boys. Don Reitz was able to learn how to play left wing, so now we are going to be able to slot him on in that 3rd line role. Let's take a look, though, and see how Jacobson's been doing. We're off to a good start so far this season, but a lot of goals being scored. I'm going to contribute that to our young goaltending tandem and a lot of our young defensemen that we have on this squad. Maybe put Galvin back in there, but let's take a look and see what those lines look like. So we currently sit 10-4-1 after a couple months into the season, and boys, wait till you see this. So Ricky Combs plus 13, 3 goals, 18 assists. You might think that's pretty good. Callie Paulson, 15 games played, 18 goals, 14 assists. He is a god amongst men. He's only getting better as the season goes on. Take a look at those abilities, the zone ability and the superstar abilities. Perfect for what we want him to be, and he is tearing it up. 2-way forward there. Look at the shot. Look at the awarenesses, puck skills, speed. Even his physical is pretty good, and his defense is great, and 87 faceoffs. Guy's a stud in this league right now. Hopefully he can continue his play. Koltsov playing well, 9 goals, 17 assists. Second line struggling a little bit. Tikhonov only 5 goals so far to this point, but it's hard when the mouth to feed is so big, and it's called Callie Paulson. Anton Lindell, not doing too bad, but you'd like to see a little bit more production out of a 92 overall. Stu Scrimes, 7 goals, 7 assists. Not going to complain about that. We do have our brand new Don Reitz at left wing playing in there, so we'll give him some minutes. Jacobson was not doing very well, so we decided to take him out. I believe he had 1 goal, 1 assist, and he was a -2. So let's see what Don Reitz can do. Also, Jacobson didn't grow at all. He was still a 7. He went down actually to a 77, so a little disappointing there with that. Berggren, it might be looking time to move on from him, especially with Novotny playing a little bit better. Sergei Kagradov playing well there. I guess I wouldn't say well, but he's not playing bad enough, I guess, to take him out of the lineup. But disappointing that he's a medium elite, 25 years of age, and only an 82 overall. But he has kind of been limited in terms of the guys above him in the lineup. Pierce Barnett not playing bad, making a case for more minutes, especially seeing what the other guys have done. So we'll see, maybe pop him up to that 3rd line after we see how Reitz does for a little bit. Adam Novotny, I know -4, only 2 goals and an assist, but he has grown to a 79 overall. We'd like to see him get a little bit higher to maybe take over that role from Berggren, because we'd like to see more drafted players in our lineup, but we'll see what happens with that. And then Torsten Obergar, not too bad either. 1 goal, 5 assists for him, 77 overall now, only playing 8 minutes a night. We did make a change. Skylar Reed out of the lineup. He was struggling. Put Galvin back in there. Harley, 3 goals, 13 assists, not bad. Halvardson, that's kind of what we expect from him, kind of be that shutdown guy on that top line. Galvin hasn't played a game yet. We'll see how he does. Bachfist with 14 assists, very nice. Career redemption for him. He was kind of being tossed around there, but he's had a nice, I guess, one of those Vegas guys arc where he has now turned himself into a stud defenseman in the NHL. Albert Henry, 2 goals, 5 assists, and a +6, and McCarron +5, 1 assist there as well. In terms of goalies, Carter George not having a bad season, 10 wins, 15 games played because I forgot to turn on the auto goalie rotation. So we have that on now, so we'll see what Jaden Faith can do in there. Get Carter George a little bit of a break, but he has been playing phenomenal so far this season, so no complaints from me right now. Let's take a look. League leaders, Callie Powson, is he up there? Number 1, 32 points in 15 games, leading over Jang and Bedard. Koltsov up there as well, so good to see. McDavid still lurking around as well as Makar, so we'll see if they're able to hold on to that lead or maybe expand it a little bit. Let's get a couple more months in and see how crazy Powson gets. All right, guys, so this team is unreal. We are sitting on a 9-game winning streak right now, and take a look at the way we're winning these games. We did have the OT scare there, a little 2-0, a little 3-2, but look at the goal totals for this team on this winning streak. We did have that loss to Nashville, but 35-8-1 right now, a 9-game winning streak, putting up an insane amount of goals right now. This is unreal. This is the easiest GM mode I could possibly do. First in the league in goals per game, 4th in goals against, 2nd best power play, 3rd best penalty kill. Callie Powson sitting with 78 points right now. Unreal season so far for the boys, almost 5 goals per game. Let's take a look at some of these stats real quick just so I can show you what's going on. So Ricky Combs up to a 96 overall. He's still only 25 years of age. 16 goals and 50 assists with a plus 36. Callie Powson, we're on the 50 and 50 watch. 40 goals in 44 games, 38 assists as well, because our boy Jakub Koltsov is absolutely tearing it up too. 34 goals and 33 assists. Second line, Tikhonov's playing well. Lindell's starting to pick it up. Stu Grimes has been one of the most surprising guys, I guess I should say, as a two-way forward. He has some awesome stats there in his overall. Skating is a little bit physical is a little bit but everything else he is phenomenal at. 19 goals, 19 assists for him. Don Reitz, first year playing forward, not a bad season for him. 6 goals, 6 assists, and a +9, so I'm very happy with that. Berggren picking it up as well. Pierce Barnett playing down here on the 3rd line, right wing, when his natural position is left wing, but he is still tearing it up as well, definitely earning those more minutes. Just put Jacobson back in the lineup over Obergauer, just because he only had 10 points so far, so I figured get Jacobson back in there. He did pop back up to a 78 overall. I wanted to send him down, but he would have to go through waivers, and I do not want to risk losing a former first-round pick to waivers, so let's keep him in and see what he can do there, even though that is a bit of a tough spot, tough lineup to crack right now. Novotny, we'd wish for a little bit better, but 4th line role, so it is what it is. And Kagradov not playing bad down there as well. Defensively, the usual suspects are tearing it up. See if they can end Cale Makar's dominant run of the James Norris. I think he's won it every single year so far in this franchise mode. So Thomas Harley, what can you do? Halvardson not playing bad there. Harold Galvin playing good, +20. Adam Bachfist, 5 goals, 54 assists. He is the guy who is on the top power play, not Harley, and he is making good use of it there. Henry playing well down there, and Caden McCarron, you'd like to see a little bit more, but he's not a-, so I will take it. And then goaltending-wise, we are giving up a bit of goals right now, but, or actually not. His goals against average was over 3 before I simmed up a couple more games, but 2.89 there, 2 shutouts for him. Jaden Faith playing absolutely unreal, 7 wins in 8 games. No shutouts yet in his NHL career, but a 2.29 goals against average. I'm not going to complain about that. So guys, let's get up to that 50 game mark and see if Callie Powson is able to get that that magical number. He's a goal scoring god, still 24 years of age. He's a young kid. Let's see if he can get it done. Unfortunately, guys, he came close, but we do have a hell of a surprise. So 96, 95, 92 for that first line right now. Let's take a look at those stats. You might be a little shocked. So Ricky Combs playing great up there, +43, 18 goals, 56 assists. Callie Powson came close, 43 goals in 50 games, a 44 assists as well with a +50. And Jakub Koltsov, 42 goals in 50 games. So we have our own Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl over here with Callie Powson and Jakub Koltsov. Unreal seasons from these guys so far. Let's take a look at the defense. Thomas Harley and Bachfist, 8 goals, 45 assists for Harley there. Bachfist, 5 goals, 61 assists. Hello, Norris. You're going to be coming to Quebec. Let's go, boys. Let's get up to the trade deadline, see if we can keep this hot pace. What are we rocking at right now? We are 39, 10, and 1. first place in the league. First place in the league. Our division is nuts, though. Bruins and the Lightning are nasty. Let's get up to that trade deadline, boys. Let's go. All right, guys, I blew right through the trade deadline, and we are here at the end of the season, and it was another monster season for this Quebec DraftKings roster. 61 wins, 20 losses, and 1 overtime loss. Couldn't get away from that one. As you can see down there at the bottom, not one, but 2 60-goal scorers. Kalle Paulsen barely edging Jakub Koltsov out for the team lead in points with 136, 135 for Koltsov, which is unreal. Let's take a look. Did they win? Did they have the most points in the entire NHL? Are they, look at this, insane first line. 136, 135, and 118. 62 goals, 60. Bachfist there as well. 87 assists for 93 points. Gotta think he's winning the Norris after that year. Plus 76 for Kalle Paulsen. 327 shots on that, 19% shooting percentage. So an unreal team, unreal season for the boys right now. And don't even look at this. 43 goal scorer as well. So that is unreal production. Tikhonov up there with 27. Don't look past Combs with 37 as well. And even Pierce Barnett down on the third line with 24 goals. So an absolutely unreal season from the boys right now. -5 for him, which is a little interesting. We did have some minuses on the team besides these guys absolutely ripping it up right there. 34 power play points for Paulsen, 36 for Koltsov. Just wow. These guys are beasts, and they're going to be beasts for lots of years to come. That first line's not going anywhere anytime soon. Let's take a look at the minuses that we had. Novotny at -11. 20-point season for him playing on the fourth line, so I'm not too upset about that. Jacobson was in and out of the lineup all year just because we started struggling once he got in there. Took him out, put Obergauer back in there, and he started playing well, so we left him in there. 17 points for him down there. But guys, just an unreal season right now. Let's take a look at the goaltending and see what they were able to do in their first seasons as starters. So Carter George, not a bad season at all. 49 wins, 15 losses. Both of them over a 910 save percentage. Wow, look at those goals against averages too. Absolutely unreal there. 6 shutouts for Carter George. So everybody who was ripping on him in the comments, calling him Farter George. Yeah, what do you say now? This guy's about to win the Vezina, buddy. Jennings trophy winners here as well. So at least we're adding lots of hardware in that regard. Let's take a look, though, at the rest of the NHL. Please, please, please. Yes, let's go. 1 and 2 in points. Paulsen going to be up there. Let's see. Oh, Nathan McKinnon, you son of a... Nat Matthews with 77 goals. 34 years of age, 97 overall, 121 points. Geez, so no Rocket Richard for Paulsen this year. At least he gets a couple big awards there. We'll see if he wins the Hart another season. But wow, what a season for the boys there. Paulsen and Koltsov, both with 60 goals, couple 60-goal scores. Can't believe Austin Matthews absolutely blew up there for those 77 goals. He's been decent, but he's not done anything like that, so he had a phenomenal year. So it's going to be scary if we see the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs. Let's take a look, plus minus. You got to think there's not going to be anybody higher than Paulsen there. Yeah, it's pretty much the first line there. Absolutely unreal. Far and away better than the rest of the team. Who is this guy right here? He's been up for a lot of the year. Emilio Jang for the Blackhawks. 42 goals, 68 assists, drafted in 2024. So an interesting first-year selection there. Let's take a look. Defenseman, 100... Oh, you son of a bitch. Even Evan Bouchard's up there with 101 points. So it looks like he's not going to be usurped just yet. He's still on his James Norris run. How many has he won so far? He has won 8 James Norris trophies. So Hall of Fame for him for sure. 4-time Stanley Cup champion as well, twice defeating us. Goaltenders, let's take a look. Carter George leads the league in wins. Very nice to see there. Save percentage. Ooh, okay, so he's up there. George and Faith. Ingram might take it, though. We'll see. It's going to be a tight race for that Vezina and that William M. Jennings. We'll see what happens there. But just a phenomenal season from a lot of the guys there. Boys, this is going to be the year. Playoffs, this is our fucking year. We aren't losing this year. Who are we going to have in that first round? Looks like it's going to be the... Red Wings, I'm assuming, if it goes there. Yeah, it should be the Red Wings in the first round. We'll see what happens there, but it's going to be a tough Atlantic division, as always, to get out of. Just look at the points that our division put up there. Just nasty in the Atlantic there. The rest of the league's looking pretty good, but I mean, 123, 116, and 114. Then you got a 77 goal scorer down there with 103 points, so that's going to be scary. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Unreal numbers from our boys yet again. That's going to be this one. Make sure to leave a like down below. Comment your thoughts heading into playoffs. Do you think this is going to be the year, or are we going to continue the trend of being the Toronto Maple Leafs / Edmonton Oilers and never winning a cup with stars-studded lineups? And subscribe to the channel. We are 8 away from 3,000, so I appreciate all the support, guys. That's the end of this one. Peace.